All right, everyone. Welcome to our very first Tuesday Growth Call. I'm so excited to be doing this. And Ashley and Brooke and I have been talking about implementing something regular for you guys for a while. And we're so happy to slide into this slot. We're just going to talk for 10 minutes. Hopefully we can keep it concise. Like I know I have a problem sometimes. And then we're going to open it up for questions. But our topic tonight is, we touched on it last week, but it's about social media and its place in your business. So when you sign up to be a Norwex consultant, it's not open a link, collect orders, and that's it. That'd be great if that's what it was, but that's not what it is. And that would be sort of like a lie. I mean, that wouldn't be an actual business. We are in the business of partying, and parties are the best way to grow your business. So we don't want you to feel like you have to be an influencer. We're not trying to go viral, and we don't want you guys to be trying to go viral either. You are better off serving your people, your customers, your friends, your personal Facebook world. You're better off serving those people by educating and doing a few posts and that kind of thing, than you are trying to serve the masses. Because what happens, unless you have a huge Facebook following and are absolutely consistent, like posting 2-3 times a day, putting all of your effort into that, you're not going to see these huge returns. There is a huge value of being present in social media. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But I just wanted to make this point of customer follow-ups are where your business can thrive. Okay. Offering samples are where your business can thrive. Offering try-it kits, creating your own event and inviting people to it is really where you can thrive. Not to say that social media is not important, but it's not where the bulk of our time needs to be spent. It can be really fun. It can be something you can add to your business, and having a presence is important. But I think sometimes that point gets lost in this world of social selling, that you need to be the one to have all the views. You just don't. Ashley, did you watch Katie Tarr's training? Does she have some interesting stuff in there? Do you want to take over with that?
Actually, let me just read a little bit of her, and we talked about this briefly last week, but we went in and I specifically looked at this math that she refers to. But I'm going to kind of explain kind of the overarching theme of like what it was about, and then kind of break it down a little bit further. So she said, doing the math really showed me that there are 2 paths to hitting income goals with our business: social selling or parties. And this training was a way to show my teammates that partying is the work harder, not smarter option. I think our teams have been confused, and honestly, we as leaders have been too. I think our businesses have reflected that. Our teams are watching us leaders who may have more time to invest working both social selling avenues and parties, and that's confusing them. I love social selling. I have fun with it, but it's a different animal and it's a long game kind of thing. I think that if in order to be successful with social selling alone, the activity points, which I'll talk about in just a second, need to be much higher than what people are actually doing, and that's a problem. Social selling and social media may not come natural for everybody. And when we as leaders start going and amping up our social selling ways, teammates can kind of seem to follow suit. But at the end of the day, that leads to emptier calendars, less income, frustration, because you're spinning your wheels and not getting much action, because parties weren't the focus. And like, we will forever and always be a party business. That's just like where we started, and we can't let go of it. So if you have parties, you don't have to market yourself in Norwex and other ways on social media. And this gives you, I hope this gives you guys some relief. So the specific things that she talked about that I wanted to kind of draw your attention to was taking the time to focus in on figuring out your she said working days, but in the case, since a lot of you guys are part-time, we're going to go working time instead. So it's days and times that you decide to work, however long it takes you to do the job. But these are predetermined days and times. So for somebody like me that works this business full time, I can look at my calendar and be like, okay, these are the days that I want to work. In the case of November, for instance, you better believe that when my party ends on about the 16th, I will wrap that party up by the 20th. And I'm not working again until the beginning of December. Like, that's just the way I work. I'll be scheduling things here and there, but like my business is going to take a little bit of a breather because I need it. Angelina said she's trying to get in. Do you see that, Brooke? She messaged me on Facebook. So taking the time to really figure out like the days and times that you want to work. Within that, it was suggested to maybe take some time to highlight those in your calendar, block out some time, for those of you guys that work full time, maybe it's Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. Those are your 2 nights that you really focus in and take time to do it. And then within that, again, decide what your monthly income goal is. And the reason where this comes into effect is because she broke down some math. And this was very interesting to me because she broke down social selling math and what you would have to accomplish to hit a goal of, I want to say, let me do a little math here. I want to get this right. 2000 divided by 92, 2000 divided by 92. Okay. So $2,000 sales goal. Okay. You've got this $2,000 sales goal. There's a social selling route. And then there's the party route. So to explain in the social selling term, and I will make an image similar to this and share it, that we can share. But essentially she calls them activity points. And when you do the math of this like formula that she has broken down, for every 10 leads, 3 will engage with you, 1 will convert to a sale. You have to do on your working days. So for me, the 1st through the 16th, on my working days, every single day, I would have to do 16 activity points to get my $2,000 goal in sales. 16 points. So some of the things that those activity points consist of were, I took a screenshot. Let's see here. A social media feed post, posting in your stories, direct reach outs, follow-up text, going live in your VIP group, an Instagram or TikTok reel, phone call, text blast, personal text, inviting to an event, sending a sample, follow-up, all those things. You'd have to do doing this formula, you would have to do 16 of those points every day that you work. Okay. Then she broke it down in party math. And this is from my business perspective, being a store manager previously. It's important to know what your party averages are, and then even to break it down further and to know your average sale amount, because that is something that like in the sales world, like an average sale is vital information to know, because if you know your average sale and you know it's low, what does that mean? You need to start looking at how you can boost that, because that's an immediate increase in your take home if you can learn to boost your average sale. So she broke it down into her average sale, which was $92. Okay. She did the math that in a $2,000 goal, all she would need was 22 orders a month to hit that $2,000 goal. 22 orders to make her goal versus 16 touching business points of various things to do in the 14 days that she decided that she was going to work in November. Like, I don't know about you, but like parties just seem easier. And so that's why I said last week, like when I do things on social media, when I make TikToks, reels, things like that, I'm using them in my party or in my VIP group, which also is very important to me. So like I'm double dipping versus just putting all my eggs in the basket of social media. And then like for every 10 leads, 3 will engage, 1 will get a sale. Like it was very interesting to see that math. I don't know if that was vital to anyone else. But I was just like, okay, like it just confirms the fact that you can do it all on social media and never do a party, or you can do a party and it just is easier. And for us 3 Black Jackets, then I'll wrap up. For us 3 Black Jackets, like we have personal connections to people who left our business to go towards a social selling business. And while they make it seem like sunshine and rainbows, they are working all the time. Like you are working nonstop to create content, and it becomes a full-time job. And at the end of the day, like, why? So that, I don't know if that benefited anyone else, but I was just like, okay, like this confirms what we're doing. So
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think it's important, thanks, Ashley, to remember, like if your goal is increasing income, like that you need to be doing activities that increase income immediately. And
Yeah.
like some of the best things that you can do to increase your income immediately is to funnel your energy into building your party calendar. That's honestly one, and customer follow-up. I think those are probably the two best income producing activities you can do in this business. I will tell you, it's sure a hell of a lot easier sometimes to make a post on Facebook, because that like hits our dopamine in our brain and allows us, that like gives us, oh, check, I did something productive. I'm going to do this, this thing that makes me feel better about myself, but doesn't actually give us any kind of direct immediate result when it comes to growing, your income. So while social media has its place, and we're not telling you to throw the baby out with the bathwater, if you really love, I go through like waves with Instagram and Facebook. Sometimes I post on the regular for a month and then I don't post for a month because I don't have this like this internal draw to like make social media this like amazing thing for me. I see that it has its value, it has its place. I want to show up authentically. And that's what, if you want to do anything with your social media right now, and while you're growing your income, just be as natural and as authentic as possible in what you're posting. Post things that are meaningful to you. Don't just post, images of sales, like post indirect marketing with your Norwex. So showing you using it, your kids using it, just Norwex throughout your daily life. And that's going to give you that natural draw of people are going to be asking you questions. So while you're building your business, while you're building your income, because that's what we're here to show you how to do. And we can give you step-by-step we have on how to build your income. It's really, really, it's not rocket science, guys. It's taking the action steps and doing the same 5 things over and over again. Thankfully, not 16 things every day. Same couple of things to build your income. While you're doing that, you can naturally show up on social media. So it's not a chore. It doesn't become a chore that you feel like you have to master. And if down the road, your party calendar is where you want to be, your income is where you want it to be, it's growing well, and you want to start to go down the social media path and put more energy into that, awesome. That's great. There's lots of ways for you to do that. But the whole point of tonight's call is to say, like, is to let you know that you don't have to do that to be really, really, really successful in this business. So we just want to encourage you, like, to follow the path of least resistance and most income. And we're telling you right now, like, if that's your goal, partying is the way to do it. And we're all like a product of that. So anything else, Katie?
That's it.
Put up for questions. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And this Q&A can be about any topic that's on your mind.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be just this, but who's got questions?
If you do, feel free to unmute yourself and just ask away.
That content from Katie Tarr is eye-opening. 16 things a day, I'm out, right? We don't have to work that hard. Out.
Right.
Goodbye.
And I actually just text you guys. I think a discussion at a later date on income producing activities is crucial. But one thing that she even said is just like these things that we're doing, like we look at our business and we think, oh, like I'll watch this training on Project Broadcast. But then like if you never implement it, all you've done is wasted your time. Yep. So even just like the last month, you've watched how many trainings on parties. If you're not implementing these things, all you did last month is waste your time. Like our goal was to make you money. That's what we wanted you guys to do. But if all you did was spend 4 hours in the month of October watching it, like guys, like implement it, start making money instead of just learning about it.
Well, and that's the danger. Kristen Boss talks about this all the time about being content like absorbers, and like how, and I talked about this a little earlier, how it's a dopamine hit. It makes us feel good to do things like that. And none of those things are bad. I absorb content every single day, guys. Like, I listen to podcasts, I'm constantly reading, I'm constantly like picking up new books. I listen to audiobooks all the time because I do like to absorb work content that way. And it can make me feel really good. Do I implement all of it? No, but I do try to make the content that I'm absorbing make sense to the things that I'm working on. So if it's budgeting, I just picked up a new book. Where is it? Oh, a new book.
Sounds terrible, Brooke. A
I know, I love
budgeting
it.
book?
Yeah, it's called Profit First. I'm reading the audiobook, but I wanted the physical book just to learn more about like budgeting in a business. These are really applicable thing to me right now in running my business. So just things like that. Like, if you're going to absorb content like you did in this last month, it's easy to get overwhelmed, but say like, yes, I listened to 3 podcasts. I feel really good about myself. Pick one thing from last month. If you haven't put those things to work yet, pick one thing from last month that you can apply this month.
Hey, you guys, it's Barb. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Barb, hi.
Yeah, hi. I had a really good vendor fair event Saturday. I sold over $1,000 worth of Norwex, and everything was at least $2 off. I mean, I just kind of went by last year's catalog. Yeah, and
Oh no,
Oh,
Barb.
you're frozen.
left.
Oh
but
no.
Anyway,
There you are. We see you.
We see you.
Anyway, that's all right. That's all right. But I didn't have a square. I used to have the little square thing that you stick in your phone, and then you could swipe the card.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somehow, somewhere, I've lost it.
Yeah.
And so I ended up writing everything, writing all of their cards down. And now I have to enter them in on my computer.
Yeah.
But can I just order the little square? Do you guys know?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You can actually get one on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can do an Amazon order. Or I think all Targets have them. I'm pretty sure. And I think you can go right on the Square website and request one as well. So you should be able to do that. If you don't, I highly recommend, especially if you're going to be doing vendor fairs a lot, Barb, get a Venmo code. If you don't have Venmo,
I do have Venmo.
do you have your QR code posted?
No, I don't.
Okay, so it'd be highly recommend you can go into your Venmo account. I'm sure you know how to do this, but let me just go in real quick.
Probably not.
Okay, go into your Venmo account, and I don't know if you can see this, but you can click in the top right hand side. There's like a little QR code. It looks like a little shadow of QR codes. Click that.
Okay.
And then click Venmo me, and it will show you you probably can't see it, sorry. It will show you your code that you can put out, but you can also print this from your computer to sign into Venmo and get your QR code. And then you can have that where people can just scan it right there at the vendor event. And then you don't have to type things in,
Yeah.
And that will save you. I mean, there's still fees on the back end of Venmo, but it will save you like the transaction 2 or 3% transaction fee that Square does. And I think, 90% of people have Venmo or PayPal these days. I feel like when I was I just went to a craft fair a couple weekends ago, and like everybody had Venmo, Venmo QR codes out.
I would just also, as people are listening, I would just caution you to not sell $1,000 worth of product and not get money for it. So that was just my immediate thing. Like, Barb, like, I want to protect you. Like, I just hope you get all your
$600 I have to get. Yeah.
Yep.
400 I had in cash, but the rest was all.
So do you have a Square account? Because you can go in
Yes.
And manually.
So instead of is that what you mean by going on the website? Or
Yes.
did you mean going on the Norwex website, ordering product and using the card? Because I would not do that. Okay.
I meant that I do have a Square account, and I was just going to go in and manually enter all of those on Square. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. that moment of panic, right? And you're like, I don't have my square. I don't know what to do. This is the best I can do in the moment is to write receipts and take credit card. I get it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good job,
And
Barb.
see, yeah, and well, the thing is, out here in the middle of Nebraska, out here, a lot of people write checks. You know, I
Yeah.
still take lots of checks.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because this one, everybody had cards. I
Yeah.
only took three checks. I mean, I was surprised
Right.
because last year I had a ton of checks.
Yeah. Is this that like weekly? Are you doing like a weekly fair with that, Barb? Or are you going back
No,
multiple times? Or is
no.
that just
That was a one day.
Okay.
It was the one box pheasant hunt
okay?
that they have every year over at Broken Bow. Yeah.
All right.
And I did
Yeah.
really well. I did 700 last year, and
Good.
I went in with this positive that I was going to do better than last year, and I couldn't believe
Love it.
it. It was
Love it.
wonderful.
Great.
Yeah, Angelina said you can order a square on Amazon for $10. I'd do that ASAP. So you have that with you, and then you're not like you're not floating in the weeds again and hoping that people don't give you a
Yeah, right.
card that isn't
Okay,
true. I'm sure.
thank
I
you,
mean,
guys.
the
And
nice
I
thing
didn't mean
about
to
small
take up
towns
time.
is that I think most people are really like honest in those like
Yeah.
small town things. So it's not like here in the middle of if you're doing like the Millard North Craft Fair that I went to when there was like 1,000 people there and Joe Schmo is going to be handing you a burner card, you know. So well, good job. That's awesome. It feels good to
Oh,
sell
thank you.
that,
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Anybody else have any questions?
Sabrina asked about partying, like not wanting to be on electronics. Totally get
Girl,
it.
same.
Yeah, I hate it too. Honestly, I had a party last Friday and getting ready for it, I was like, you know, actually kind of dreading it because I don't every single in-home party, like the introvert side of me comes out real hard, even though I call myself an ambivert. Once I've learned like I love being around people once I'm there, but sometimes it's a chore mentally to get there.
Yeah.
But man, it felt so good. 1,300 in sales, 2 bookings, and then you just go home, man. It's awesome. So I totally get it. I know that Sabrina, you joined during like pandemic time. So like it might be really great for you to think about exploring like in-home parties, especially in small town. I swear to God, small town in-home parties are where it's freaking at. I remember when I did like only in-home parties before, every single small town Nebraska party that I've done, I swear to you, every single one of them was like $800 to $2,000. Like they always killed it, and I always would get bookings.
Yeah.
So like, don't be afraid to go down that route. We did a whole training on in-home parties. I can tag you in that post if you need to be reminded where it is. Definitely shoot me a text too, because we can set up a time to talk to if you want to during the week. So home parties, guys, I'm telling you, I know Facebook in our brains, we want to tell ourselves that Facebook parties are easier, but I'm telling you, in-home parties are so much easier. They're so much easier. I know they take time, prep, all the stuff, but a couple of the tips that we picked up through the pandemic have really made it go so much better. And I just think it's awesome.
I think
thanks,
Sabrina.
'cause
Oh, go ahead. No, you go.
I'll definitely be reaching out because this is something I want to do.
Yeah.
I have a goal to reach by May. It's just I lost my part-time help at work, and so now I'm putting 50 plus hours in at work, trying to take care of horses, kids, my husband not being home a whole lot. It's been keeps getting pushed off and off. I did get asked to do a craft show, kind of a last minute thing, and I'm like, why not? It's all in a box, right? Just take it and go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's like, well, I wish I would have thought to think that, hey, do you want to sign up for booking or book a party or an in-home party
Yeah.
because I think I could have gotten some of those other gals in that area to actually book a party.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Do you have their
Like,
contact info?
Yeah.
Do I what?
Do you have their contact info?
I do. For
I would
some
do
of them.
some pretty solid customer follow-up with them.
I even had some lady from Minnesota that's knew a lot about Norwex.
Yeah.
She's like, "Ooh, I need this. Can I buy this? How much is this? And how much is that?"
Yeah.
Like,
So
bear with me. I don't know my
idea for
book.
you. I have an idea for you on that follow-up. Did you do a door prize or anything like that?
Yes, actually, for every $100 I sold, I had those little samples. And so I gave those samples away.
So I am going to suggest doing a door prize drawing in the future, but I'm going to also give you an idea of what to do right now. So I made these little cards. Oh, too bright. It just says, you know, time for tonight's door prize. And on the back is a few questions, one of which being, well, it's name, cell phone, email, interested in hosting a party, 1 through 5, interested in Norwex as an income source, 1 through 5, join my Facebook VIP group, yes or no. If they're answering host a party or join anything more than a 1, they are getting a message from me. I give away a $50 shopping spree. And so I'll randomly draw a card. If they don't have it completely filled out, they don't win. I draw somebody else. But anyone who answers anything but a 1 on those 2 questions gets a message from me that says, hey, so you didn't win my main door prize, but I am offering a $50 shopping spree if you host a party or a countercloth box set. What would you think about that? So in your case, I would take the contacts that you have and I would send a message and I would say, hey, just following up. Thank you so much for being, stopping by my booth at the craft fair. I am offering everyone from that day a $50 shopping spree or whatever feels good to you. It doesn't have to be that, but a shopping spree when you host a party. What do you think about that? Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Pick a prize that feels good to you. It does not have to be that, but that is when I go into do vendor events, my main goal is contacts and bookings. It's like my 1-track mind goal. So.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
actually go into any kind of vendor event like that and sales are great, but I am like honed in on meeting new people. And to me, they're like big networking events,
Yep.
Well, and it
Good
was just
job,
a
Sabrina.
smaller one.
Yeah.
And they're, with what I do, they know, most of them know me anyway. So
Yeah.
they
Perfect.
all asked me if I was going to
That's
do this
awesome.
other one. And I'm like, I don't want to do the bigger one, but I might.
You
We'll
never
see if
know,
it
man.
falls during deer
It's-
season or not.
It's so
Yep.
great though, because like, especially if you're trying to build a calendar, like events like that are really great to attend. Especially when you know the people and I wouldn't turn down stuff like that especially if you're looking to hit a certain goal or looking to make some money. But start with that customer follow-up, a very quick, like, thank you so much for purchasing. How are you loving your product? Conversation starter is really a great way just to make connections. So then people know that you're not just like a booth in a vendor event. You're there for them for a continued, mutually beneficial relationship. So
I tell people, like, if you have any questions or you're not liking something, reach out to me, call
Yeah.
me, shoot me a
Mhm.
text, email me. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yep.
Because I want you to be happy with this.
Yeah.
And if you're not using it like you're supposed to,
Yep.
well, I mean, I'll even come to your house and help you if that's what I need to do.
Yep.
Because they're fairly local.
So remember
I've been
too
meeting.
that ball doesn't have to be in their court. Reach out to them and see if they have any questions first,
Okay. And Katie, can you take a screenshot of that and send that card to me?
For sure. I actually can you share a Vistaprint link anymore? Because it wasn't made on Vistaprint. I'll make sure it gets posted on all 3 team pages. So you guys can see what it is and recreate it for yourself, or if I can share the link and you can just order it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Well, I use a lot of these stuff I just make at home with my printer.
Perfect. Yep.
So thank you very much. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Congrats on stepping out and doing the thing and, rocking it out. I love it.
Thanks. Well, I mean, if the product speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Truly
Wow.
does. Yep.
Yeah.
Just still trying to train my husband on how to use that all.
Same.
A lifelong
too.
project, like, just so you know, like, it's one that never really has an ending in sight. Yeah. Husband and kids.
All
No
right,
joke.
great call.
Yeah.
I don't know like what our boundaries are, but my boundary is 30 minutes. So I'll
Yeah.
be bouncing every day at 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
Yep. Let's wrap it.
And remember, you can always post in the group at all times, like, when
Yep.
and you all know who your direct leaders are, who your jacket leaders are, that we're available for you guys. Outside of these calls, you can shoot us a text and stuff. So,
Yep.
thanks for popping on. Let us know if you have any questions. Until then, see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.